Alright guys, what's going on? Again, we're going to do a quick look at the underneath under the body. I know in my last couple of videos I didn't really show it. So, just kind of show you guys what I run on my Scx10. So let's take off the body and take a look. Set this off to the side. Alright. Let you get a good look here. Alright, first thing I'm going to start off with, the servo is I think a TSX45 Tactic middle gear servo. Let me verify that on the front here. Yes, I was correct. And got a radio box here, not waterproof. Running the Axial AE2 ESC speed controller. If you can tell right there, running a 55 turn crawler motor, brushed. I prefer brushed because of they're cheaper motors, and to go brushless, I'd look at possibly getting a lipo, and the cost, I try to do RC on the cheap. But anyways, these motors will stand rocks, dirt, mud, water. And they can run underwater. I have proven that. However, I'm not condoning you running your RC underwater. Please do not do so if you do not feel comfortable with it and aren't willing to replace the motor or any other parts. This vehicle is not waterproof. It has seen mud and dirt, as you can tell. But do not use this video as a reason to run your RC in the water, because you could potentially ruin it. 55 turn is matched up with a 10 tooth pinion. Also, I found out when I did an upgrade, I recently went and lifted this thing. On the front you can see, but for right now only the front is lifted to get it level with the Ram 1500 body, so the 1500 body will go on correctly. I could only lift the front. I originally ran it with the Jeep, and I'll show you that body here. I'm just going to set it up here so you can kind of get a general idea of what it looked like. Now this one has had plenty of upgrades, headlight upgrades. It's kind of all kinds of upgrades. And I was also running this tire with this body. BFG Crawler 2.2s. Awesome tires, great, cleans mud very well. Love them. That's why it got lifted. But when I went to the 1500 body to get the more scale look, I went back to the 1.9 trail tire. What I found out with running that 2.2, my battery was draining really fast. I don't know if this was from, again, new to the hobby, and I don't know if this was from just the size of the tires and the motor having to work too hard, or what. But I noticed it was draining really fast. I could only get a few minutes of run time out of it, and it was done. So, guy at the hobby shop recommended, he said that he ran a 65 turn with about a 10 tooth pinion. So I guess with the smaller pinion, and I went to a 55 turn. No reason for that, just higher torque motor. Those of you who are new to the RC hobby, the higher the turn number, the slower the speed, but the greater the torque. I don't think, because of going with a higher turn motor, I noticed my run time picked back up, so I'm thinking with the 55 turn, the higher turn motor, it actually puts less of a drain on your battery. Since I'm running a 1.9, I don't know that it'd be necessary to swap from the Axial original pinion gear, which I do not know what that is right off. But anyways, got a axial simple LED controller that hooks up to the light bar on my Jeep. Which on the Jeep body connects to a wire that runs from, wow, this thing's dirty. It connects to a wire that comes through the body into this plug. The wires are broke. I have to replace this. A 5-string LED. Have not replaced yet, but will need to eventually. Just haven't bought one yet. And it plugs into the simple LED controller, which you saw, which I believe was right here. Yes, it just plugs in. And also has another plug, which I had hooked up to a battery and ran my rear LED lights out of the original bumper that came with the Jeep. I hooked up the LEDs, bought the LED controller. I had lights in it, as you can tell, just hot glued them in place. But the Jeep body's evolved a lot more than the Ram 1500 because I just got it. So there's not so many upgrades. I'm running a Onyx 5000 milliamp battery, which is a nickel metal hydride battery. I do these batteries because they're cheaper and it's easier to run them. One of these days I may go brushless, and I could potentially, probably will, shouldn't say potentially, probably will switch to a LiPo. That'll be further down the road, and it probably won't come for a long time because, like I said, I do RC for the cheap. It's not a cheap hobby. The initial start of this hobby is pretty expensive. Once you get into it, it's not so bad. And once you get past the point where you get some upgrades done, you know, that you need to do, it's not bad at all. It's fairly cheap, and then everything else is optional. I started out, I bought my first one, and this is my first one here. I bought this one back about a year or so ago. I've had it since then. That was my first ever trail crawler. First ever hobby grade RC ever that I bought. A reference to RC Spark Studios on YouTube for getting me interested in it, and eventually later on went back and bought one. You can pick up this Scx10 all original, not like this. This one's slightly modified. You can pick up this one for about $485. Now, bear in mind, $485 was what it cost me to get this Origin charger, including nickel metal hydride battery. Batteries are not included with this truck, despite it being an RTR. Bear in mind, RTR is ready to run, does not indicate that there is batteries with it or a charger. Simply meaning only electronics are available. If you buy a kit, the electronics are not included, and all you get is a Scx10 body, frame, all the mechanical parts except for the motor and ESC and battery. That is the three major components that decide the difference between an RTR and a kit. Kits, you can make those a little more original, and you can choose the motor and ESC and battery combination. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me your comments, see what you think. This is my first couple of RC videos. Just kind of showing off my truck. Pretty proud of the upgrades. Only one thing, something real easy you can do. I know this probably is not a good thing to do because it is considered defacing money. It's a quarter. At one time when I was running the 2.2s, when I lifted it, I had used 4 quarters on each corner. These quarters, one hole at the bottom and one hole at the top, give you approximately about, I'd guess at a quarter to a half-inch lift. Not bad. And it makes for a perfect amount for running the 2.2 trail tires. It works great. But anyways, you can take metal plates of a similar shape and use them. You don't necessarily have to do it the way I did it. That's just me. That's just something neat to add to my RC. It was an all original lift. Basically, that lift cost me $1. All I did was take a drill, run a hole in the top of the quarter, hole in the bottom, and screwed everything together. Raises the frame up and allows you to clear a 2.2 pretty easily. With the Ram 1500 body, I wasn't quite able to do so. But with the higher fender flares or a setup like this actual Wraith I am building, you can clear a 2.2 pretty easily. It works great on the Jeep, but the Ram 1500, it just does not quite allow for that. And I was going for a scale trail truck look and did not want to butcher the body any more than I had to. The Ram 1500 body is supposed to look more like my personal truck that I drive daily, with a few added upgrades, a couple of little off-road features, scale accessories, and other such items. My 1500 is the 5.7 liter with a 2-wheel drive. No, I did not buy the 4-wheel drive, but that is okay. I got my little 4-wheel drive here. But anyways, guys, pick you up on if you're looking into the hobby. Check out RC Sparks. They're great videos to look at. Really gets you into it if you like off-road trucks and stuff. It's a great way to build an off-roader for really cheap. And when I say really cheap, I mean cheap in comparison to building a full-scale 1-to-1 off-road trail truck or rock crawler. It's a great way to do it without spending a whole lot of money, like I said, in comparison to a 1-to-1 scale crawler. So, anyways, guys, check out my video, like, subscribe, check out my other RC videos that I have uploaded. Likes, comments are appreciated. Again, first couple videos, so anyways, guys, hope you enjoy.